Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I just wish I didn't have to talk about. There's all those naysayers about how China deals with problems in the past and in the present day. In the past they had problems with being open with the world. The SARS epidemic back in, 2003? Yeah, I was here in 2003. Going through Guangdong airport, I remember everybody was wearing a mask except for me. People were giving me shit about not wearing a mask, and I'm saying, well, everybody else has a mask on, so I guess I'm safe, eh? Just as long as you guys are all wearing a mask, I don't have to. I didn't know what was going on. Being a Canadian, younger, still bulletproof, I guess. Now that this new ugly thing has, and I'm not going to say it because they'll just demonetize my ass, has reared its ugly head in China. It's a new way for the rest of the world to attack China, attack the financial workings of China, to attack the people, the government, how they always have and probably always will. Well, that's okay. The Chinese are getting used to it. But now here's the but, and this one's going to hurt, guys. Shit runs downhill, and China's a manufacturer of the world. So you're going to start seeing store shelves emptying out. Those products from China just aren't going to be there. The products that are part of assembly plants in the States, anywhere else in the world, Canada, United States, Great Britain, freaking Brazil, wherever, that they need those Chinese parts for, say, Toyota cars, Apple phones, whatever type thing. And Apple, they make them in China, so you're going to see a little lack of stuff there in their next earnings report. But the idea is that all of this is happening at a time when the world is just on the verge of a recession, and this is going to impact the whole world, and the rest of the world is probably going to blame China because that's just what they do. Oh, it started there, so they're responsible, and they shut down. Oh, but we can quarantine them because they're quarantining themselves, and there's all of these reasons why the rest of the world can do what it does, shutting down the airplanes, not allowing people across the borders, and all of this different stuff. But now that you're looking at a global pandemic, let's just call it what it is. There goes my demonetization again, damn it. Oh well, anyway, good thing I don't worry about making money off these things, because have you seen Italy? Yeah, 11 towns being shut down. School's not going. They've even shut down or postponed football games. They don't postpone football games for anything. Crowds, schools, discos. I read discos, and I'm thinking, in Italy they still have discos? Oh my God! You know what I mean? South Korea, the largest, over 700 cases in South Korea. See, Wei Fong and I were looking at South Korea as probably one of the places that we would be able to fly through to get back to Canada. By the time we book anything, that's going to be off the table. So now we're down to, from where we are right now, probably Japan or Taipei. The Taoyuan airport in Taipei, Taiwan, is probably the only two places that we can travel back to Canada with, without going the other way around the world, or without entering China. See, we could go Air China, or China Airlines, actually, Air China, and fly from Bangkok to Kunming to Chengdu, and Chengdu to Vancouver, but then we're entering China again, and I don't know whether that's a pretty good idea at this point in time. Okay, so, and then you got Iran now. 14 counties in Iran are shut down, yes, and they say 38 people have the case, but or 43 people now, and 8 are dead. Okay, well, at a 2% rate of deaths, those numbers don't match up. So who do you think? Do you think the Iranians are being honest with the rest of the world on the amount of cases? Or maybe they just don't know. Maybe they don't have the ability, the medical ability, or the wherewithal to actually figure it out and know how many cases there are out there. And that's a scary thing, because Now that everybody, all these naysayers have brought it to China's attention how poorly they've been dealing with this problem. Now they're having to deal with it themselves. Over 1,800 cases in, I think it's 29 different countries. Okay, they're freaked out, and they should be freaked out. But what really freaks them out is that the idea that some of these new cases have no link to China, no link to anybody else that's been infected. They just sort of popped up out of the blue. Sort of leads a little bit more gusto to that conspiracy theory of biowarfare and stuff, doesn't it? Hey, you know what I mean? How can we get the rest of the world pissed off with China? Well, here, let's just drop this shit around in different places. Iran, states don't like Iran. China, states don't like China. You know, South Korea, well, yeah, they sort of like South Korea. Italy, well, I don't know if anybody likes the Italians. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but you see where I'm going with this. So now it's the rest of the world's chance to show how well they can deal with this outbreak, and how their policies are better than the Chinese policies of mass quarantines, checking temperatures of everybody going in and out of the cities, in and out of parks, in and out of apartment buildings, in and out of stores, wet markets, you friggin' name it. You go on a bus, you're getting your temperature taken. You go anywhere, you're getting your temperature taken. You're quarantined, you're out, one person out of your family is allowed to go out every 2 days to go get groceries. If you forgot something too damn bad, self-quarantined, all of these different things that China's doing to, and literally quarantining millions, like twice the population of Canada under quarantine in China. Think about that, and now put that into the United States or Canada. Put that into Iran, South Korea. Put that into Italy. You think they're going to go after this with the gusto that the Chinese did? Absolutely freaking not. If it gets into the States, rather than the States taking a financial hit like China's taking right now, I think they just let it go wild. Their excuse would be, oh, this is unstoppable, so why even try? Sort of like the H1N1 back in 2009, where the Director General of the WHO just said, well, it's not feasible to try to stop this, to try to contain this virus. So what are you going to do when the CV gets out there in the States, and it will? It's already in 29 countries. It's just on the cusp of getting out of hand and out of control, and I think it probably already is out of control. In Hubei province, there's no stopping it there. In other provinces around China, actually in Nanning, I think there's 3 or 4 days now where there hasn't been another case surface, which is really nice. But they just opened up the travel restrictions, and people are going back to work. People are traveling again. Schools will be in pretty quick. Then we'll see the full extent of what's going to happen. I don't think you have the full extent of what's going to happen yet, just for the fact that everybody's been self-quarantining. There hasn't been mass transit. People haven't been going to work. Nobody's going to a restaurant. Nobody's going to the cinema. Nobody, no type thing. So when all of this is over and people go back to work, then they're going to be commingling with their friends, their families, people that you don't know in the wet markets and in the grocery stores and restaurants and whatever. And then you're going to see whether this takes on a life of its own or not. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see, not only in China, but Italy, South Korea, Canada, Iran, Iraq, Africa, through Central and South America. I think it's just going to run its course. The only thing that could save the world from this right now is somebody coming up with a vaccine. And if they come up with a vaccine and they can make enough of it to maybe do it on the chemtrails or whatever, the idea is that if they can come up with a vaccine, I think we could nip this thing in the bud. But without that, I don't think there's a chance in hell that anybody's going to actually stop it. They could slow it down until, say, next summer when things warm up. And because this virus, they say, doesn't really like a lot of hot weather, then that might slow it down and stop it in the summer. Sort of like a flu virus. You get it in the winter, it spreads in the wintertime, fall, when it's cold outside. In the summertime, it sort of dies off. I think, with this CV, it's basically the same. So just the idea that China's slowing it down is probably a good thing, but we're still months away from warm weather in places like Canada, the Soviet Union, Russia. Soviet Union, where'd that come from? Russia, northern China, Europe, yeah, exactly, Norway, Sweden, places like that, Finland. So we're just going to have to wait and see, but I really do believe this puppy has gotten away on us. You're seeing a place like Pattaya, Thailand, where it's 34 degrees outside, basically unscathed by this CV. It's one of those things that maybe it's because it's hot here all the time, and take my word for it, I am sweating my ass off right now talking to you. It's 34 degrees outside, 95% humidity, and not even hardly a breeze, so it's just like stifling hot. And it's 2 minutes to 2, and they shut down the beer sales between 2 and 5, so Gweilo don't even have no beer. My God, the world is turning against me. They think I'm Chinese. Yeah. So let's take note. This is February the 23rd, and what's going to happen in a month? See, Wei Fong and I were actually thinking of going back to Nanning, because we figure, well, if there's this virus is going everywhere in the world anyway, probably China, with all of their safety procedures in place, is probably one of the safest places to be during this time period. When you start seeing it go rampant in a place like South Korea, which is basically a first world country, both financially, medically, and they're trading and stuff like that. Italy, basically a first world country, and they're having problems, and this is making them quarantine their people too. Then maybe a place like China is the safest place for us. I don't know. It's one of those things that you can never really understand what's going on around you. You never seem to have all the information. Maybe there is no right and wrong answer in this one. It's because I'm always looking for the right answer, and there's always got to be a wrong answer, and or direction, I guess, something like this. So we're just sitting here. We don't know what to do. So until we figure out what we should do, we're not going to do anything. Why? Because it's 34 degrees outside. A mosquito just flew in my ear. Because it's 34 degrees outside. We're right by Pattaya Bay. We've got a place to stay. The beer is cold. The food is great. And what more can we ask for? It's one of those things that life is treating us fairly well right now. And we've got a collaboration with Daniel Dumbrill, Lee from the Barrett channel, Lee Barrett, and Alex from Reporterfy Media, and Gweilo 60. Yes, we're going to be doing live streaming. The four old boys are going to be doing live streaming. See, something to look forward to. Our cup is always half full, not half empty, and that's something that's going to be interesting. Then you've got 4 people that know China like the back of their hands, going to be answering your questions. And on a live stream, you got any questions, all you got to do is get on your little keyboard and we'll answer them. So, and all you haters out there, yes, we'll answer your questions too. Just try to keep it clean. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Bye now. Oh, hit the bell, resubscribe, and put a couple bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Thanks for watching. Bye now.